Okay, first part of class today we're going to be talking about points, lines, and planes, and what makes up each and how you name each, and we're going to draw a diagram of each. So a point is a location it has neither shape or size. It is named by a capital letter. So if you have a point, you name it with a capital letter, you refer to this as point A. And what would this second point be called? Point B. Very good. A line is made up of points and has no thickness or width. There's exactly one line through any 2 points. A line is named by two points on the line or a lowercase script letter. So if we've got this line, and let's put points A, B, and C on it, and then we'll put a lowercase script L next to the line. If we were naming this line or describing this line or referring to this line, we would use this little symbol, which is just a small, there's your symbol for line. We could call this line AB. Alright, because a line is named by any 2 points on the line. So we can also call the same line BC. What else can you call it? AC, good, line AC. And there's one more name for it. Is there?
L.
Line L. Alright, line is named by 2 points on the line or a lowercase script letter. A plane is a flat surface. Made up of points. And extends infinitely in all directions. It is named by a capital script letter or 3 non-collinear points. And a diagram of a plane would look something like right, so if we were describing this plane or naming this plane, we can use 3 non-collinear points. Non-collinear means, we're going to go over this again in a second, but it means not on the same line. 3 points that are not on the same line. So here's the symbol for plane. It's just a shrunk down version of what a diagram of a plane looks like. So we could call this plane ABC. 3 non-collinear points. We can also call it plane ACD. We can use 3 points, they just can't be on the same line. Alright, we can call it plane K. Is everybody okay with points, lines, and planes, and how to name them and what they look like? And
mean by on the same line?
What I mean by on the same line, here, let me show you. If I were to do this, and let's do this. Don't draw this, just watch. And you had to name this. You were asked to name this plane, or you were asked to refer to this plane in some way, shape, or form, okay? What you cannot name this is plane ABC. Alright? Because those 3 points are on a line. Alright? So you could call this ABD, BCD, DBA. You could use those 3 points to name it, but you can't use the 3 points ABC. Alright? The reason behind that is that, do you see that line that's in that plane? And I'm not an artist, but if you can picture this, as a vertical plane intersecting the original plane. Do you see that? Where 2 planes intersect, it creates a line. So if you're talking about, if you were to name the original plane ABC, we don't know if you're talking about the black one or the red one, because both of those planes run through that line. Follow me? If you were to take your desk and push it forward again, and it touched the wall, the front wall of the room, you'd have the front wall of the room that would be a plane, and you would have the top of your desk that would be a plane, right? And where your desk touched the wall, it would create a line. Well, that line is in both planes. That's why when you're describing a plane, you got to use 3 non-collinear points.
How would you name the red one?
The red one, you would need one more point down here, and then you could call the red one ABE. Point C is not in the red plane, is it? So it would have to be ABE or EBA. Good? Alright, so a couple more terms. Collinear. That means on the same line. So if collinear means on the same line, we've got the term non-collinear. What do we think that means? Not on the same line. We have the term coplanar. That's in the same plane. And then we got non-coplanar. And that's not in the same plane. So kind of back to that diagram, you know, you got ABC, they're collinear, right? But ABD are non-collinear. Points B, C, and D are coplanar. But points D, E, and B are non-coplanar. All 3 of them aren't in the same plane. Everybody all right with that? Anybody got any questions or concerns? B, yes, B, C, and D are in the same plane. See it? But then E is down here in this red plane, so like B, D, and E would be considered non-coplanar. They're not in the same plane. It means that one of the three is not in the same plane. Say again?
It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, B and C are in the black, or B and D are in the black plane, but E is in the red plane. A and C, yes, A and C are in the same plane, as well as B and D, correct. E is in the vertical plane. Say again? The red one, correct. The problem, some of the problem with geometry is that you have to be able to see a two-dimensional drawing in three-dimensional. Okay? The red plane is the vertical plane that intersects the black plane, which is a horizontal plane. So it's kind of like my desk and this piece of plexiglass. Alright? If the top of my desk was the black plane and this piece of plexiglass was the red plane, well, point E would be up here or down here on the, somewhere on this piece of plexiglass because it's in a different plane. And points A, B, C, and D would be sitting on the top of my desk. So E is in a different plane, isn't it? It's in this vertical plane that intersects the top of my desk.
How do we know exactly which points the black plane in order to connect to the red plane? Like, you know how you said A, B, D? How do we know it's not C, B, D?
C, B, and E are non-coplanar. They're not, all three of them aren't in the same plane.
Yeah, C isn't in the first one.
Oh.
It's alright.
Yeah, I thought A was after the red plane the whole time.
Okay, it's kind of sitting right on both, isn't it? Good? Okay. What I want you to do now, I'm going to give you some practice problems to do. Your practice is going to be on page 2 in that workbook you just picked up. And you're going to do problems 1 through 13. And I'm going to give you about 109 is technically halfway through the class, and we got a little bit behind today, so I don't know, it's not going to take you that long. But go ahead and do those problems, and then we'll go over them, and then we'll work on our lesson for the second part of class.